Hey guys, welcome to another Master That Riff. I'm going to show you how to play the intro to Green-Tinted Sixties Mind by Mr. Big. Because Lean Into It, scarily enough, is 30 years old this year. 26th March 91 it was released. So for some of us of a certain age, that is quite alarming. 3 decades have passed. But it's a great album. Obviously, Green-Tinted is on it, as is To Be With You, which was a big hit too. So, I'm in standard tuning for this. And what I'm going to do, I'll break it down kind of 2-beat sections. So this is all even 16ths. And the first little phrase sounds like this. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to be playing this with fingerstyle. So I'm holding my pick just in the crook of my middle finger there, because we'll need that later. But I'm going to take my index finger and pluck that high E string and do a hammer and pull off to the 2nd fret and back. Then my thumb is going to play the open B string. Okay. Then I'm going to play the high E string again, and the index finger, hammer onto 7th fret and pull off 750 on that high E string. Okay. Now watch out for the B string. You don't want it ringing out too much, you have to control it a little bit. This is where using fingerstyle helps, because you can kind of rest the hand a little bit. You don't want it pan muted, but you want to control the strings a little bit. Okay, so that's your first 2 beats, and you're aiming for that even 16th feel there. So 1 E and a, 2 E and a. Okay. Next 2 beats sounds like this. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to pluck the G string with the thumb, and I'm going to hammer 2nd to 4th fret on that G string there with the 1st to 3rd finger. Then my index finger plays the high E string, hammer on 5 to 7. Then my index finger is going to tap at the 12th fret and then pull off 7-5. Okay, so you're kind of coming up. Okay, so slowly that sounds like this. Now the thing to watch out for here, when you're doing that hammer on in the G string, again you can use the right hand to kind of control it. When you leave that string, you don't have any kind of open string sound. Okay, so the first bar slowly sounds like this. Okay, the next bar, I'll start off with something that sounds like this. So what I'm doing is I've just done obviously tapped at the 12th fret and pull off 7-5. Then I go up and tap at the 17th fret, pull off to 10th fret in the high E string, hammer onto 12, and use 1st to 3rd finger there. So you're kind of transitioning from this. And one of the things that's tricky about this sort of tapping and moving along the string is you might be trying to focus on 2 hands at once, your left hand and your right hand for positioning. When you do that tap here, you might look at the right hand to get into position, then left hand. After a while though, when you get comfortable with it, you're probably going to move the right hand without thinking about it, and maybe concentrate more on the left, because that's the one that's going to do a bit more movement here. So I've just done that hammer at the 17th fret, or tap should I say, pull off to 10, hammer to 12, then I'm going to tap 17th fret again, and then I'm going to pull off to 5, hammer to 7, so it's like, okay. Next bit, I'm going to tap at the 16th fret now, pull off to 4th fret, open E string, pull off to that, and then hammer for 7. Okay. Then I'm going to tap at the 12th fret, slide up to 16, back to 12, pull off to 7 to 4. Okay. So it's a bit hard to play slow, but if I play it like this. Okay. Now watch out for this slide. Notice I'm, obviously I'm tapping the index finger here, just like Paul Gilbert does, but I'm resting the thumb on the top of the neck here, which helps a little bit with the stability of that kind of slide and the control of it. So what you're aiming for here is even 16th feel to it. You don't want to kind of play it quickly or miss and only go to 15th fret or overshoot it. So you have to watch out for that. I think I had the melody sounds in it, will kind of guide you. So that second bar sounds like this slowly. Okay, and that's your first 2 bars. So when you go into the repeat, you can, 2 things you can do here. So I've just done the slide up, back, pull off 7/4. You can then pull off to the open E string and use that as the start of the next bar, or pluck the string with the index finger. Paul Gilbert kind of pulls off to kind of keep the kind of flow going, but there's 2 things you can kind of do there. So basically we play that 4 times. On the 4th time, when we've just done our, I'm going to tap at the 12th fret here. I'm just going to slide up the neck on the string so it frets out. Yeah. And then basically we get into kind of our chordal section. So once I've done that, I'm now going to, if you think about it, you're holding your pick. You've just tapped up and we have to play a chord on the beat here. So basically what Paul Gilbert does, and it's a cool thing to do, is when you slide up stroke with the index finger on this chord, and then switch to the pick. Yeah, and the little chord I'm starting off with here is like an E triad, so I'm batting at the 9th fret on the D, G and B strings, the first finger. So you pluck that with the index finger, then I've got a pan muted E string, and then I'm going to play this little sus, E sus4, so I'm playing 10th fret in the B string there, but I'm still batting the 9th on the D and G strings. Pan mute E again, then I'm going to play effectively a D power chord, so I'm playing 7 on the D and the G strings, pan mute E, and then I play an E power chord, so I'm playing 9 on the D and the G strings, but I also bring in the open B and E strings here, just to make it a little bit zingy, you know. Then I'm going to play an E with F sharp in the bass. So I play the F sharp, 2nd fret that E string with the middle finger. That's pan muted, and then I'm playing basically just the root note and 3rd of the E, so I'm playing 2nd fret the D string, and then 1st fret of that G string there. Then I got pan mute in that 2nd fret again on the E string, and then I move my 4th finger to move that note in the G string up 1 fret. So I'm playing like an F sharp minor 7 vibe there, but because I've got this open E and B string after it, it's like a minor 11th. So I play open E string, open B, and then G string. So I'm just kind of arpeggiating the chord. Then I've got a little B7 type thing, so I'm playing middle finger 2nd fret A string. 3rd finger plays the 2nd fret the G, open B string. Then I've got an A power chord. I'm just barring at the 2nd fret of the D and G strings there, and I've got the open A string. Open E string, and then E power chord, 7th fret the A string, 9 on the D and the G, but again with the open B and E strings on the top. Yeah. So that whole kind of chordal section sounds like this. Yeah, cool, that's it. So it's a really, really cool kind of lick, phrase, riff, whatever you want to call it. I remember playing it back in the day, that and Satch, kind of Midnight, or classic little tapping things that people used to play back in the day. So it's not straightforward because you're having to move about the fingerboard quite a bit, so take it nice and slow. Think of the even 16ths with it, and that'll help. As usual, if you want access to the animated tab for this, or the helix patch, or how I came up with the tone for the lesson, go over to the Massive Guitar Patreon group and you can check that out, and you get additional materials for previous lessons, backing tracks, additional theory, exclusive lessons, etc. There's loads of great stuff there. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And if you want to make any comments or like the video, if you enjoyed it, please do that, that helps. And of course, if this is your first time here or you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you're kept up to date with any kind of uploads and things I do. Yeah. So have fun with that, guys. Mr. Big, lean into it, 30 years old. We're not getting any younger, but it's a great tune. That's a great album. And it's a little bit of flash playing to impress your mates.